Sayın Başkan, çok değerli
Dear President,
kıymetli kongre üyelerimiz,
esteemed boards and the members of Congress, esteemed members of the press, and all Fenerbahçe fans will follow our extraordinary general meeting from their screens. I salute you with love and respect. Today, as Fenerbahçe community, we are experiencing a historic day. Now I would like to share the attendance with you. We exceeded the 22,000 people in the stadium right now.
Çok değerli Fenerbahçeliler.
Dear Fenerbahçe fans, and with our participation number today, there is a bigger attendance today than all the other sports clubs numbers in their general assemblies. We came together today in our stadium to experience this historic day together, and to all the Fenerbahçe fans who are watching this event unfold from their screens, to everybody who always stood against injustice, and to all Fenerbahçe fans who always follow our great leader Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, I greet you all. Dear Fenerbahçe fans, we came together, we gathered today, and we organized in such a short period of time, and no other club can do it. I welcome each one of you, and I express my gratitude for you being here today. And with your permission, our president will make the opening of our extraordinary general meeting. Also, there has been a fire incident in Şişli Gayrettepe. May God rest their soul who have lost their lives, and we send our condolences to the victims' families. Please, dear Fenerbahçe fans, take a note about this day. Today is April 2nd, 2024. And there is a great participation in our stadium today. We will remember this day in the future very fondly, and you will say, I remember that day very well. I was there too. It's such an important day. Today is the day we revolt to seek justice. Today is the day we stand against all the plotting against Fenerbahçe that have been going on for years. We are making a stance today. Fenerbahçe is a sports club that break records and challenge the titles in 12 different sports branches, and with the athletes that Fenerbahçe produced, Fenerbahçe is the biggest sports club in the world. And everybody knows when we play our games away, Fenerbahçe will change the scene in that city. And you know, there's a saying that as long as Fenerbahçe wins, the economy will be better. If Fenerbahçe is happy, Turkey is happy. Dear Fenerbahçe fans, they are accusing all of our community. They want our community to be in the game, but to be out of the race. Fenerbahçe always play to win, and in fair circumstances, Fenerbahçe wins that race. We have experienced many injustice in the recent years, not only in the football pitch, but it's also a threat for the spiritual self of our sports club. And today we are objecting to this injustice together. Today we are questioning all the injustices that have been going on for years. And it's not about the incidents that happened in Trabzonspor game, but it was definitely the last straw. We will focus on current day, please. Dear Fenerbahçe fans, the most extreme case of injustice, the most peculiar case of injustice is counting injustice as justice, and what happened in the Denizli match in 2016 and everything in between surpassed our level of our tolerance. And today we are here to defend the honor of our club and protect the integrity of our club, because as long as they are not accountable for their deeds, they will continue to do more against us. So we cannot take it anymore. With millions of our fans as the Fenerbahçe community, we stand together today, and we won't let them get away with their injustice. Because Fenerbahçe is a love that has been entrusted to us by our families. Fenerbahçe is the club of Lefter, Canbartu, Selçuk, Yula, and we inherited Fenerbahçe from our great leader Atatürk. And to defend our Fenerbahçe, preserve Fenerbahçe, and leave Fenerbahçe to the next generations is the least we can do. Today is a milestone in the history of Turkish sports. Unfortunately, it's such a coincidence that we are always involved with the milestones of Turkish sports history. Any injustice against Fenerbahçe is an injustice against Turkey, and when Fenerbahçe stands up, Turkey stands up. And against all this unfair treatment and injustice, we will object to it today, and the winds of change will start from our stadium today. Dear Fenerbahçe fans and all the members of Congress who are with us today, I greet you once again with love and respect, and may the results of today be good for Fenerbahçe and Turkish supports. Thank you for participating today.
Çok değerli Hazırun, şimdi izin verirseniz gündemin ikinci maddesi olan açılıştan sonra genel kurul
Now,
divan seçimine geçmek
the second subject of our agenda today
gündem maddesiyle ilgili
is the council election.
Fenerbahçe Spor Kulübü Yönetim Kurulu Başkanı
There has been a directive sent to us
2024 tarihinde
in April 2, 2024 at 5 p.m. in Ülker Stadium, Fenerbahçe Şükrü Saracoğlu Ülker Stadium, to moderate the extraordinary general meeting. Here are the members of Congress recommended: as the Council Chairman Uğur Dündar, Vice President İsmail Tefecik, Vice President Ali Alpoğlu, and the other council members Ecem Çetin, Funda Uzun, Alp Karamehmetoğlu, and Ali Gür. This was proposed by Ali Koç, Erol Bilecik, Burak Kızılan, Mehmet Dereli, Fethi Pekin, Sertaç Komşuoğlu, Türker Beyazıt, Hüseyin Arslan, Ahmet Ketenci, Kemal Danabaş, Ömer Okan, Selahattin Baki, İlker Dinçay, Can Gebetaş, and Özgür Özaytaç. This directive was proposed. So now we will move on to voting. Who accepts it? Who says yes? Who says no? Thank you for your courtesy. It has been accepted. Now I invite the council to the stage. As the executive board, we congratulated the council board. Now, Uğur Dündar, you have the word. Dear President, dear members, dear members of Congress of the biggest sports club in the world, Fenerbahçe, esteemed members of press, and all Fenerbahçe fans who watches this meeting today from their televisions, we greet you with our heartfelt and sincerest feelings. Today is a very important milestone in the glorious history of our club. We came together today, and thank you for giving me the opportunity in the council board. In a moment, our President Ali Koç will make a detailed speech and enlighten about our decision today. And please, our dear members, we we are asking you to act accordingly. Our members who want to make a speech, you can enlist your names. In the next 1 hour, you can ask for the help of security as well. We will have an iftar break. Now, there's another important point. At the end of every speech, in order for us to vote for the authorization directive and make a decision, we have to have 11,822 people in the stands. That's why please do not leave the stadium until the end of our meeting. We believe today will be a very fruitful day for our club. Now I'm reading the order of the day. First, opening the council meeting election. Third, moment of silence for national anthem. Fifth, the incidents happened on March 17, 2024 in the Super League game, and the possibility of our football A team's withdrawal from the league with reference to what happened in that game. And the sixth is closing. Do you accept this order of the day? And it's accepted unanimously. Now, for the founder of our Republic, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, and his friends in arms, and all of our martyrs, we will take a moment of silence, then we will sing our national anthem together. Thank you all. And I have to read the fifth part in accordance with the charter of our club. In the Super League game that took place on March 17, 2024, and in reference to that game, the actions, the evaluation of the possible actions, including the possible withdrawal of our football teams from Super League, and now I'm inviting our President Ali Koç to the stage to address the current issues. Dear members of Congress, dear members of Fenerbahçe, the biggest family of Turkey, the banners I'm seeing across me made me very emotional. The problem has always been our perseverance, our strong stance. Thank you for this beautiful banner. It made me feel very emotional indeed. There's been an extraordinary participants for the extraordinary Congress. Thank you all. And inshallah we will meet more in the future birthdays as well. Why is it extraordinary? We have a lot to talk about today. We have a lot to discuss. We have some videos. I'm calling it extraordinary not because it's an extraordinary general meeting, but because in such a beautiful day, in a weekday, on a Ramadan day, you filled the stands in such a short period of time. You didn't have the chance to prepare. And besides their enemies, there were some so-called friends, fake friends. But today, with your participation, you made our enemies fear, and I congratulate you for that. As you all know, as the whole Fenerbahçe community, not just in sports, but also legal, political, economic, and the social fields, we had to put up a fight, a very big fight, and you will see it in a video that we will share with you. And the reason why we are here today is the blatant and reckless robbing of our efforts and of our challenge. And today we will decide how we will take action against the injustice against Fenerbahçe. As you all know, in our last game against Trabzonspor, we played a game which shouldn't have been completed under no excuses. We had to complete the game, just like we experienced many times before. Once again, we are facing a planned and organized bullying to rob us of our championship. And I'm afraid all these attempts will continue until the end of the season. These incidents should not only the members of Fenerbahçe community but also should disturb everybody who has a heart. And today we are not only here for the events happened in that game. There is more to that. The championship we lost on the last day, the so-called match fixing and conspiracy with dirty alliances, they stole our championships, and terrible officiating from the referees, the double standards from the Turkish FA, with the mentality of anything goes for the success, are some competition that play dirty, and those who allow them. We found ourselves in a vicious cycle, and we've had enough of it. We can't put up with this anymore. As the Fenerbahçe community, I think we showed the great patience so far. With common sense, we always addressed the injustice against us, maybe thinking maybe someone will take it into consideration. And today, with the help of football, there are people who want to drag our country into chaos, but nobody is listening to us, and nobody is ashamed of themselves. These events, you cannot find this kind of events in any other part of the world, in any other country, because it wouldn't be allowed. And we have been going through all these abnormalities and injustice in the last 20 years. To not object to this situation is not natural. That's why we are here today. But I would like to touch upon the events happened in Trabzonspor game, because it was the last straw for us. You might ask why it was the last straw. Let me explain it. Because during this game and what happened after the game, everything that happened was organized and planned. It was just no ordinary football. It wasn't an ordinary football game. I can say it clearly that I don't care what anybody thinks. but they allowed these things to happen and they tolerated it. This is what we're thinking, because it was very evident that the tensions would be high in that game, but the governorship and the law enforcement failed to maintain security. Today we are making General Assembly, and I can safely say that Istanbul Security Directorate made so much better measurements, and I thank them for that. But the security weakness that happened in Trabzonspor shouldn't be underestimated. Our states should hold those responsible people accountable for this security weakness. They didn't search the fence for weapons, and these Paso League tickets were open to all the fans. How could these masked fans get into the stadium? Because they let them slide. You can call people of Karadeniz a lot of things, and one of them is the courageous. But courageous people don't hide their faces in masks. Thousands, hundreds of people flocked into the pitch to attack our footballers, but they have only arrested 12 people. But on the other hand, 3 of our footballers and 2 of our staff members were referred to the disciplinary committee. Yes, the Trabzon games are usually tense, but including explosive substances. They threw many different objects into the pitch, rising the tension gradually, and we called our coach and gave him a warning, because the tensions are rising and it might not be safe to continue the game. But the Turkish FA and the referee couldn't abandon the game, and the Trabzon security force, Trabzon police, failed as well. And since that day, we are into contact with people from abroad, people of law, and the experts of the football world, because we know what will happen to us. And the officiating was rated 10 out of 10. But the observers, the foreign observers we told us that if this happened abroad, they would end the refereeing career of that referee. But Turkish FA rated the officiating in the match 91 out of 100. Those who were responsible for maintaining the necessary security, the referee who should have cancelled the game, and the Turkish FA, they all continued their lives like nothing happened. And with the public pressure that they created, our footballers who were only trying to defend their security, their lives, they have been sent to disciplinary committee, and this is the circumstances that we are trying to compete in. They're trying to take what happened for granted, and some of our competition wanted our players to get fined, and we will not forget them. But there is one of them. They are liars, and they have committed many crimes. They have the audacity to show their faces on television. They just said it shouldn't have happened on the incidents that happened in Trabzon, and then proceeded to talk about how our players should be fined by the Turkish FA. And he thinks he is being subtle. You involved your club with the contracts, with the agreements you made. You might get some support with your statements from your club, but you have to think about us every day, especially when my term as a president comes to an end. Our Turkish FA, because it's the football association of our country, and they say our players were supposed to leave the field, were supposed to run away, therefore they wouldn't have to use force, and all of this could have been prevented. So I guess they expected us, our footballers, to take a beating. They represented our badge heroically. And they also claim and they say without shame, shamelessly, we tried to act with restraint, but we are aware of the pressure that they want to put on our players. We ignored some previous events. We put up with it, and we called the Turkish FA to take the necessary measurements. We will still act with restraint, but there are just two things I want to say. With the sports media that you own, you advised me to not let them in the stadium, but no, they can come, please. Please concentrate on what I'm saying. Dear Fenerbahçe fans, we are right in our cause, so I want you to relax. No need for that.
Onların vazifesi farklı.
Their job is different.
Dinleyin lütfen, çok işimiz var.
Please listen to me carefully.
Dediğim bu kanallarda ve benzerlerinde işlenen yok Fenerbahçeli futbolcular
I cannot accept the propaganda made by these media outlets saying Fenerbahçe players shouldn't have celebrated the victory, and one of their players labeled our celebration as a provocation, but 3 months before that you celebrated your victory on our ground. You threw your goalkeeper in the air. They're saying Mert Hakan came into the city with his hands in his pockets. What are you even trying to say?
takımın oyuncusu
This has been
Fenerbahçe'nin alay eden sosyal medya paylaşımı yaptı.
talked about by some media outlets,
Koskoca adamlar neleri konuşuyoruz.
and one player even mocked Fenerbahçe on social media before the game, but nobody's talking about that. The fans
Ağır küfürler edildi.
used swearing words. They cursed harshly, but there were no disciplinary committee involved. We want the footage of the tunnels, but they are trying to hide the footage. And all the cameras have been implemented by Turkish FA-linked companies. And all these events, all the fines show us that it's like a whole different republic over there. It's like an autonomous region. Like, are you trying to normalize violence in our country? What happened over there? And the attempted lynching, they're ignoring all of this, and they're talking about the self-defense of our players. It's such a shame.
Esas işin vahim tarafına geliyorum.
And the gravest thing
Ve vatanı için duruşu
is the Fenerbahçe stance has always remained solid when it comes to our country and our homeland.
kamda görev alan tek bir siyasetçiden,
After this game,
kanundan, TFF'den
from
herhangi bir futbol
the dignitaries, from the politicians, from Turkish FA or any other shareholder of football, any other actor of football, they never shared a message condemning the events, and I think that says a lot about our situation. They tried to tackle our championship goal in Pendik Sport game. You will see in a minute. In 2006, we lost the championship because the game stopped for 26 minutes. They wanted to do the same in Trabzon, but Batshuayi scored in the final minutes of the game, thankfully. So they couldn't block our championship journey, but make no mistake, they will continue with their attempts. We went over there. There's no problem between the executives or the players on the pitch. And in recent days, they were defeated 5-1 to another team from Istanbul, and the fans never reacted that way. I'm sorry, but since we talked about 2006, I thought about the Ulusoy, you know who. And with Acun Ilıcalı's support, we made this video. Now let's watch it together. Why do Fenerbahçe fans protest? What's the reason for this big protest? We go back 18 years. We are in Denizli, where Fenerbahçe fans protested against injustice and plotting. The date is May 14, 2006. Denizlispor is on the field to avoid relegation, and Fenerbahçe is on the field to win the title by goal difference. We are ahead of our rivals, and all we need is a win. There was only one thing the FA at that time should do to ensure justice in the final week of this critical season, because everybody needs justice sooner or later. From the examples all around the world, is to make sure the games start at the same time and end at the same time, but that did not happen. They stopped the game from the first minute by throwing confettis to make advantage for the home team, and Selçuk Dereli was the referee of the game. That he was a notorious referee, and he is known for his questionable decisions against Fenerbahçe, so he was specifically assigned to officiate this game. And Selçuk Dereli, a year prior, did not even, not let alone showing a card, he did not even call this interception, this foul. And Nobre was sent off while on his way out of the field. Should we remind you more about Selçuk Dereli? In a cup game between Beşiktaş and Fenerbahçe, despite Baki Mercimek's harder tackles 3 times, he never sent them off. The Baki Mercimek was supposed to send off. And now let's go back to May 14, 2006, one of the biggest football crimes in the history of Turkish football. Because of all the objects thrown into the field, the game stopped 12 times. Every time Fenerbahçe was on the attack, they threw objects into the pitch, and Selçuk Dereli just sat there and watched. Their goal is very clear here. They waited for the other game to finish before this game, and they changed the fate of that season. Why do we protest? Because you stole our championship. The Fenerbahçe fans, of course, didn't know that what happened in Denizli today was just the beginning, just a year after the game that was labeled as the Water Derby. In Ali-Samiyen, during the whole 90 minutes, they attacked our team by throwing objects, and what a coincidence. Once again, the game was not abandoned. once they ran out of water bottles, they broke their seats and threw them to our footballers, and the referees, since they were instructed to do so, they didn't call the game off. Why do we protest? Because you just sat and watched the terrorism in football years after years. Their conspiracies and plotting against Fenerbahçe never ceased. In 2011, despite similar scenarios, Fenerbahçe won the championship, and they allied with FETÖ, and with FETÖ's support, they started a new treacherous operation against Fenerbahçe. Nobody could understand what was happening, but in the FETÖ's media outlet Taraf, they made a headline that Ergenekon is in Fenerbahçe in 2009. They showed the banner about Mustafa Kemal Atatürk that was shown in the Sevilla game. And this force that got into the veins of the country, it was very evident that they were also the enemies of Fenerbahçe. And on July 3rd, 2011, a whole new era for Fenerbahçe and Turkish football began. This organization initiated, because of a so-called match fixing, they arrested Aziz Yıldırım and many other board members at that time. Although there is a confidentiality order, they still gave a lot of information on the media about the case. Also, they started attacking the Fenerbahçe fans, and Fenerbahçe fans showed their support in Çağlayan and Metris. Also, the club at the same time tried to compete in the sports field as well, and they were successful too. With their false accusations, President Aziz Yıldırım were imprisoned for a year. You stood tall despite everything. You showed patience. You came all this way to support us, and we thank you all. And at the end of this fight, we will prevail. The Fenerbahçe fans in Bağdat Street in Anıtkabir showed the great solidarity and made history. FETÖ just ran into a yellow and navy blue wall, and they couldn't beat the Fenerbahçe and Fenerbahçe fans, and the case was closed, proving our innocence, also initiating another process. Why do we protest? Because you could not beat us on the field. You plotted against us. There have been many unforgettable moments about this. Because UEFA members didn't know what was happening at the time, but the Galatasaray associated Lütfi Arıboğan falsely provided them with false information, resulting a 2-year ban in European competitions for Fenerbahçe, and he started working in Galatasaray in the later years. Why do we protest? Because you stole our right to compete in Champions League twice. So now we are asking questions. Any country with justice after such an plot operation against such a club, if this club cannot get into Champions League 2 seasons in a row and become innocent, proven innocent later, shouldn't the system compensate for their loss both financially? Why do we protest? Because you never even thought about compensating us, make up for your operations against Fenerbahçe, and as the price for not getting into European competitions, lots of our players were transferred to other clubs. And despite all their attempts to block Fenerbahçe, Fenerbahçe was on the field in the last game of the season 2011-2012 as the favorites, but they still both on the field and off the field they were still operating against Fenerbahçe. They sprayed pepper gas to our players and hit to our fans and hit our fans with batons. And on the field before this grand finale, the coach of the rival team was banned for 3 years, but that they postponed his fine so that he was there on the sidelines. And as soon as the match ended, the FETÖ influenced police attacked our fans and beat them violently. Why do we protest? Because you treated us unfairly and you attacked us. In 2013-2014 season, we won the earliest championship in the history of Super League. So we were on the rise again just 1 year before the July 15 coup attempt on April 4, 2015, on our way to championship. While coming back from a victory against Rizespor, they targeted our bus this time with guns. They wanted to scale down the gravity of the situation by calling it was just a stone, and the Turkish FA threatened Fenerbahçe if they don't continue the season there will be consequences, and this was cemented on the minds of every Fenerbahçe fan. It was just as bad as the July 3 so-called match fixing operation, and no one has been punished because of this attack. They tried to kill us and you did nothing about it. This is why we protest. In 2019-2020 season, Fenerbahçe targeted some big names with their strong board, but they were moving against Fenerbahçe once again. The spending limits that have never been used before in Turkey was used on Fenerbahçe, so Fenerbahçe couldn't have a stronger squad than their rivals. You came up with the concept of transfer limits just to hinder us. This is why we protest. Why did you invite, for the first time in history, this spending limits for just the beginning of that season, and why are you not applying it today? We are protesting because you always tested your double standards on Fenerbahçe, and lastly, this season you failed with the organization of Super Cup, and you blamed us for it. The game was supposed to take place in August. Then you moved it to Riyadh, and in a joint decision, the game was abandoned. But they wanted to accuse our president Ali Koç, and they're still at their position in Turkish FA, and all these influenced so-called journalists accused our president as well. And now Fenerbahçe is the only team still progressing in the Europe, possibly can win a European title, but they refused our proposal to postpone the league games, and we are not surprised at all. Why do we protest? While Fenerbahçe was getting into an historic game, you were still thinking about how to sabotage Fenerbahçe. Now for the last act, after 18 years after the scandal in Denizli, we faced another scandal in Kadıköy. They showed no signs of fair play, the players showed no signs of fair play, and they were clearly instructed by some people, these footballers. They stopped the game by pretending to be injured at every chance they got. They even acted overwhelmingly. They tried to slow down the tempo of our team by stopping the game at every chance they get. In the first half of the game, the ball was only in the game, including stoppage time, for 23.5 minutes. I laying on the ground, they killed the time. The Pendik players kept calling the medical team on the pitch, and with stoppage time, the game lasted for 114 minutes, but the ball was on the pitch for just 47 minutes. It was even worse than the Denizlispor game in 2006. Although they have no income of the ticket income, they have no ticket income, and their board members attended Galatasaray championship celebrations. And this person, could he also be the hidden financier? Could he be funding Galatasaray behind closed doors, or could Pendikspor be the backyard of Galatasaray? Why do we protest? Everybody knows about these dirty connections, but they always stay silent, so we are protesting against it. The operations that we just mentioned, our team still managed to secure 3 points, but just 1 week later we faced even more evil plotting in Trabzonspor. The provocators did all these dirty things to keep Fenerbahçe off the title race, and this was the last straw. It was called the lynch operation. In any other part of the world, the game would have been abandoned, but the referee let it happen for 90 minutes as if nothing happened. He just watched. Speaking of Halil Umut Meler, let's get to know him a little bit more. Just a few weeks ago in Beşiktaş Galatasaray game, in the first object thrown at the player of the away team, he stop the game. And in Trabzon, while his referee friend was getting attacked by the fence, he still let the game play out until the end. Think of a football match. The goalkeeper of a team is targeted by the fence with objects. His throat even bleeds. While there's a flare ignited in the penalty box, the referee still makes the game play out, lets the game play out. And in a non-existent foul, Halil Mutmeler actually assisted the second goal. So he thought he accomplished his job successfully, but then Michy Batshuayi came into the stage and spoiled their plans. The football terrorist who blended into the Trabzonspor stands, they got into the pitch and attacked our players, attacked our celebrating players, and this is just a mark of shame for the Turkish football. They got into the pitch with masks, they attacked our players with the corner flags, and although our players fought them back and beat them, this incident cemented its place in the most disgusting attack in the history of Turkish football. These football terrorists, in every corner of the pitch, they attacked our footballers and our staff, technical staff. Now we are asking the question, has any other scandal like this happened in the history of Turkish football? Has this ever happened before? Hundreds of fans floating onto the pitch and tried to lynch footballers of some team, and now you're still trying to accuse us. This is a never before seen lynch attempt in the history of Turkish football, and you never sent your condolences. That's fine, but you're still blaming us shamelessly. It's not over yet. Those vile people, your mayoral candidate for the Trabzon Metropolitan Municipality, shamelessly said that this is all just a show. You cannot solely accuse any sports club, it's not possible. I'm not doing politics, don't be bothered. Everybody knows who holds the 2010-2011 league title. I don't need your permission to speak. In such an atmosphere, they ignore the people who got on the pitch with blades. They never felt any discomfort in their conscience, and all they're concerned with is to take down their rivals and if somebody's running by you, maybe he is just trying to interfere the fight, to stop the fight. Nobody can know that. Even the devil cannot think of this, but according to this person, this football terrorist shouldn't have been touched and could attack Livakovic, and they would succeed in lynching our players. This is the idea they are defending. These two people should know that our players gave the necessary response, and they are heroes who fought against the football terrorists. What you're seeing is a righteous self-defense of our footballers. And this is not just a hit on these football terrorists, but this is a hit on their disgusting mentality. These are punches against the disgusting mentality that always try to bring Fenerbahçe down. We are asking once again, why do we protest? Because you created such a ugly system. You took all the beauties of the football away. You are designing the league, and your referee meeting was leaked as well. Do you think it's a penalty? No, I think it's a regular contact. I don't think it's a penalty. So in short, I made a mistake. When the referee said he didn't see it, I examined it and evaluated the expectations of the players. They were objecting, but I don't want to say I made this decision based on their reactions. I'm trying to remember how I made this decision. I'm still questioning myself about why I made the decision of penalty. You stole our championship. You did nothing about the FETÖ operation. We were attacked with guns. You blocked us from participating in Champions League. You come up with this nonsensical concept of transfer limits. You accused us of because of your incompetence. You tried to lynch our players, and you are trying to fine us. We are not protesting against just a defeat. We are protesting against the system. We are standing up against your bulliness and your association with FETÖ. All these Turkish FA they're supposed to protect our rights and ensure a justice, but they always turn the blind eye. This is what we are protesting against.
Again, we'd like to thank Mr. Rajun. We need to off and our fast. And before continuing, we will be in a break for 30 minutes. May Allah accept the fast of the people. And we will continue on where we left off in 30 minutes. Thank you very much.
vermediler. Bilgisayar söyleyeyim mi? Da başka bir yerde priz var ya. Telefon da istersen oraya. Üçte yeter mi? Üç yeter. Yemek yedin mi? Söylediler. Söylediler herhalde. Ha, söylediler. Çayma ihtiyacınız olursa yaşı aslında bir hani.
Bir ıslak mendil alabilirsek, biraz kahve döküldü buraya. Bir de
çay da olur bu.
çay da olur. Zahmet olacak ama.
Şimdi aşağı gitti dedi 5 dakika.
Tamam, sorun değil. Hadi bakalım, müsait olmasın.
Ben de acıktım. Garibanın halini olacak.
Biz neden isyan ediyoruz? Çünkü şampiyonluğumuzu çalacağız.
Esteemed fans of Fenerbahçe, we are now continuing on from where we left off. And before starting,
Camiamızın önemli
and special
üyelerinden
members, a high Congress member, and also a committee member for the Olympics for Turkey, and one of the old ex-presidents. And since my childhood, I have seen him in our ranks. And for today, we have lost him. May God give him peace and peace to his family, and I wish them strength in these dark times. And right before this, with esteemed Mr. Acun Ilıcalı, the prepared with his sport our video, I know that just like me, have made you emotional as well, and maybe also kindled the flame in your hearts as well. And what you have watched in these videos were just a short summary of what we have experienced, and we have experienced more, but we don't have the time or the patience to see all of it once again. Our last statistics will be shared with you, and after that we will talk about our main topic, and this statistic may be anger you as well. Our first table in this last 5 years, and this fifth year is this year. We will see the scoreboard, and our second table will be the last 10 year, and the last 10th year is the 30th week of this year. And now I will ask from Fenerbahçe TV for, let's say, the table for 1 for the 5 years. And in this table, we will see the last 5 year for the teams that have become champions. We see their scores. Everyone has done 178 games. Fenerbahçe has 367, Galatasaray 361, Beşiktaş 329, Trabzonspor 323, and Başakşehir is 286. And from the 5 teams, only Fenerbahçe has no championship in this process. And then we continue on. Let's take a look at 10 years. Maybe it will be a better statistics. In 2014 to 2015 to 2023 to 2024. What we can say with this year included 10 seasons. Fenerbahçe and Galatasaray has the same score, 697. As you know, you can see Beşiktaş is 690, Başakşehir is 616, and Trabzon is 589. And in this last 10 years, Galatasaray has won 4, Beşiktaş 3, Başakşehir 1, and Trabzonspor 1 championship. Total of 9 championships between these 4 teams have been shared, and Fenerbahçe has not been a champion. And we are taking a look at the last year. We are moved in 6 years, in 5 years, and in 10 years. We are the same with Galatasaray. But in this table, we are the only team without any championship. And in the statistics, what we are showing you is what we are talking about for years and months. And for Fenerbahçe, with 3rd July attack, in 13 years, has won only 1 championship, and there is no way of just with the sportive agreements. It is not possible to explain, and this is against the natural cycle of life. the things that we have lived through, not just in Turkey, we have not seen this in anywhere in the world. And our competitor this year, I want to tell you this. What I have told you about is any kind of attack or any kind of problem, even if if our competitor had experienced the same thing, or why Fenerbahçe has experienced this, and that's why we are here today. And today we will show our resistance against injustice, unlawfulness. We have gathered here to show our resistance and protest against this. And as myself, I can say this, but I know the board of directors will the same thing as well for today here. And as for myself, you made me feel the biggest and proudest moment of my life, and you have shown your protest and resistance. May Allah give you the best. And when I see this image and scenery, I know that the Fenerbahçe will always have backing, whatever the operations or whatever kind of play and plots may done, even if the government can silence themselves. Fenerbahçe will stand by its own self, and with its greatest moment, you can see this great community together with here, and I'm really proud to be your president. And why always Fenerbahçe? And why just only Fenerbahçe? What is the price that they want us to pay? What kind of dirty hands and what kind of dirty methods they're going to use? And what kind of operations that they are playing on us? This kind of attacks and injustice, in which conditions will it end? And with 100-year clubs and fighting them among other, and from football, a new societal chaos. Do they want to emerge something like that? And after this attack, the planners of this attack, did you ever look at the history of Fenerbahçe? Did you ever inspect it? With a just 11-year club for against the oppressive forces, with Fenerbahçe with 100-year history, with this kind of mobbings and bullying, if you can think that you can make them kneel, if you feel something like that, you are wrong in every way, and you have never learned your lesson from the history. And right now in this organizational plots, and anyone ask, who is the target? What are their ambition? You can say lots of party and different things. This is a consortium for what is happening to us. And with the actors and the institutions may change in time, but the ambition and the goal have never been changed. It's always Fenerbahçe, and we will talk about all of this. Should we forfeit from the league or not? What should we do or not? And if we forfeit from the league, who are they going to gun down? Whose boss they are going to gun down? Who are they going to plot against the president of a football club? Who are they going to send them to jail? And yes, you have never learned about Fenerbahçe. We will never kneel. And as myself, and not just for board of directors, anyone who has been and will be in this position, this Congress members, and every one of them, I can say that, and every one of those fans, I can say this, we will never kneel. Or submit. Not championships or cups. We will never leave any values or principles. We will give 0 and 0. We will never leave our principles and faiths and values behind. And with our millions of fans, you are the former representative of them and have invited accepted our invite to our extraordinary congress and joined us and participated in this. And today, for the football of Turkey in this problematic terrain that we are fighting as, and we will decide all together and what we have felt and experienced, and of course it may show us to a different kind of decision we may need to take. We have two alternatives, I have to say. Everyone is talking about one alternative. We have three alternatives. One is doing nothing at all. And the other one is with the football activities, we will postpone it or delay it. Maybe we'll talk about joining other cups or forfeiting for the league. And we can talk about all of those. And that's why we are talking about not to do anything. We will open our flag of resistance and protest. We will cut our own cord, and we not dying for with every day. We will die for one day, and we believe that we have come to you to maybe find a better future. Our esteemed fans, as myself and for my friends, I have to tell you this one. We will stand strong and we will never submit, but the most important thing is the people that have done this thing to us, where they get their power. Do you know where they get their power? In the last years with the Fenerbahçe society, it is because the Fenerbahçe cannot come together. The Fenerbahçe society, inside of it, there is lots of different crack voice, and different voices are coming from. And they know it very well that if they can play with the activities of social media and some plot and ploys, they can separate us. And as we will return back to our factory settings in any way, in any situation. They cannot. And they cannot create any problem among us. And in every move they make, and in every attempt that they make, and we will come together more, and we will say one for all and all for one. And when they understand our mindset, they will not try anything that easily. So please, while leaving this place today and when you go to sleep, please remember this message. And today, here, whichever result that we get or we conclude on, and as the management and board of directors, we will do whatever we can to realize the decision. And with the 1st of April and 2nd April, what we have gotten the decision, we know we need to get these decisions, what we have seen and what we have experienced and lived through, and most important is whatever they can do to us in the future as soon as possible. With our board general assembly will be collected, and for Fenerbahçe we want to show them that there one heart and one body, and to take the necessary decision. We have seen that we need to make an extraordinary assembly, and with the meeting we have done in board of directors, I have gone to television and I have announced this. And then the process has started. And in this process, we have to know that with anger, excitement, with hatred, and without not thinking something, or without not concluding or discussions, we have not come before you. And what we feel, and while representing you, and for your mission is with our millions of fans and as representatives of those, and for our society and our community, we will get the decision for our community without getting any anger or excitement, and with the societal psychology not to follow through this. We want to be a more realistic, sustainable and impactful roadmap needs to be drawn all together. And for that, and with our old board of directors, and with our higher congress, and with our sponsors, and with the members of the press, and with the institutions that are related to our to our football club, and with lawyers, with all the discussions that we have done, and for our congress, welcome as well, Mr. Philip. And for our congresses, with the letters that have been sent to us, and anyone who has come to our club physically and talked about, we have assessed all of this. And at last, at Sunday, we have gone to Samandra, and we, for the footballers of the main actors of this play, and our Ismail Kartal coach, and our translators, our manager of the team, we have joined and come together in a room with positives and the negatives. We have yeah.
The captains shared some words. Other footballers, our coach, all had a saying, because they tied to each other. They showed a great solidarity upon returning from Trabzon, and they looked me in the eye and they promised until the end, with our labor, with our sweat and blood, we want to challenge for the title, and we will win the title. Now let's look at the situation from a technical standpoint. Please listen carefully what I'm about to tell you. I need you to listen to me carefully. Now, to sum up the whole thing without going into the options one by one, I will share with you some common opinions. Doing nothing, staying silent, is the worst thing we can do, so we have to give a response. Whatever we do, it should be done in a timely manner, and it should be measured thoroughly while giving the strongest message to the public and the officials. We also consider the option that will harm us the least. We have to protect our position as the right side. Besides the decisions we will have about our footballing activities, contacting the official institutions by lobbying and with good relations, we can try this method once again in parallel with the other methods. Our fans, via our fans and our institutions, by keeping our protest alive and strong on the country scale, national scale. So that's why I'm telling you, you came here today, that's great, but once you left the stadium, the real challenge will begin. The real challenge will begin starting from today, and you made this possible by coming here. Together we will make a decision, we will reach a consensus. One of the most extreme options that we have is withdrawing from the league. I hear you all. You don't want to be part of this operation. Why not? Why be an actor in this staged league? but we have to make a balance between not being an actor and leaving the field to them.
Şampiyonluk şansımız devam ederken
While the chances of our winning the title still continue,
eski yöneticiler, gelen
the
mektuplar,
old
gelenlerin
board
bölümlerinde
directors and all the letters we received at the club, I will sum them, all of them up.
yılmadan
While we still have a chance to win the league, we should persevere until the end.
takım ile çıkalım.
We shouldn't
Ligden çekilmeyi
bow down
bir sezon için
for the rest of the games, league games. We can play the games with our youth teams. At the end of the season, we will make another general evaluation. Withdrawing from the league will be like throwing all the efforts we made so far into the bin. But the most recommended was the withdrawal from the league.
atalım. Ligden çekilme
And
dahil olacak.
another view was to take whatever is necessary, take whatever measurement is necessary, and as the last resort, then we can consider withdrawal from the league. And this is a highly voiced opinion as well in different meetings with different age groups and different platforms. A lot of people hold the opinion that instead of withdrawing from the league, just let's freeze our activities. Why withdraw from the league? We will just relegate to another tier, but there will still be the same Turkish FA. There will still be the same staged organizations. And some say continue the league with the youth team and play in the Europe and the Super Cup with our main team. Like, you upload every opinion, I don't know which one you support. It confused me a bit.
Şimdi bizim görüşümüz.
And
Bu konuyla
our opinion on that matter.
futbol faaliyetlerini askıya almayı şu an hiç ama hiç değerlendirmiyoruz.
We don't consider suspending our football activities at all due to
Bunun için
two reasons. First, we have to be prepared to do this,
ne konuda hazırlıklı olmamız gerek?
and prepared in terms of what?
Başka bir alanda devam ettirebilecek hazırlıklı olmamız gerek.
To be able to continue our activities in a different field,
Organizasyona,
like an organization abroad.
buradaki haksızlık hukuk
We might
devam ederse
get involved with another organization abroad. We might get some contacts. So if the injustice here continues, we might always jump to that other organization.
askıya almak demek,
This is an opinion,
başlamak demek.
but suspending means starting from the amateur tier when we are ready. Of course, we can overcome that. Maybe we will merge with another club from the Super League. It's not like it hasn't been done before, but we have to think about this while considering even the smallest details. But right now, we're not talking about this. The second method of withdrawing from the league is not showing up for 2 games in a row, not participating in 2 games in a row.
Hukuken
Legally, what does that mean?
öncelikle
First of all,
UEFA ile konuştuk. Dedik ki biz bu sene ligden çekildik.
we talked with UEFA.
Puan alamadık. Sayı resmi
Let's say we said we withdrew
alamadık.
from the league this season.
Ama seneye
We had
ikincilikteyiz.
0 points, but our second place is still guaranteed.
Bu tamamen
Will we be able to
kararıdır.
go to the European competitions? And they replied, this is your FA's decision because they provide you with the necessary licensing. They evaluate the criteria, etc. So when you think about our situation, I think one can imagine how Turkish FA will approach to us. So that's an ambiguous alternative for us as well.
Yöneticilerimize 3 ay ile 1 yıl arası
Also,
mahrumiyet cezası verilmesi söz konusu.
it's possible that our
Biliyorsunuz
board members might get between 3 months to 1 month disqualification penalty,
toplam 2 yıl
according to the
seferde 1 yıl
short
mahrumiyeti alanların
legislation of Turkish FA. If they got up to a 1 year disqualification penalty, they are no longer eligible for being a board member. So we might unwillingly give them a leverage here, because they will hold the right to make our members ineligible for board membership. I thank all of our sponsors.
sponsorlukların devam edeceklerini taahhüt ettiler.
They
Hatta bazıları
promise that our deals will continue regardless of which league
daha fazla
we are playing in, and some of them said they will give us more if we relegate into a lower tier.
dolayısıyla orada sıkıntı yok.
So we have no problem on that page.
Stat gelirlerimize
Now, when it comes to our stadium income,
gördüğünüz reklam ve sponsorluklarla ilgili
all these advertisements and sponsors you're seeing here, we think we will have no problems about that. And season tickets,
cevabını size bırakıyorum.
you will give the answer to that.
Yıllık kulüp
A 115-year-old club,
dünya tarihinde görülmemiş bir şekilde kendisine
Like,
yapılan haksızlık
never seen in the history of the world.
artık sabrı kalmadı. Reva gören
We cannot
açtığı isyan
take all the injustice we had anymore.
kendi inisiyatifiyle bir alt lige düştüğü takdirde
So with our own initiative, if we relegate to a lower tier because of our resistance, I'm sure all of our fans will attend the games even more and fill the stadium to show their strong position. Therefore,
teşekkür ederiz.
thank you.
Biz böyle olalım, kimse bizim önümüze geçemez.
As long as we stick together like this, no one can hurt us. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Now let's return to our subject. Therefore, we have no problems regarding our biggest sources of income. There's no problem in there. One of the possible problems we might face, and not for this season but for the next season, is the streaming income, streaming revenue. When we first came to power, we had $44 million of streaming revenue, and with the discounts, generous discounts of Turkish FA, it's decreased to 10 to 11 million, and with the new system it might go up to 18 or 19 million. So this is the size of our loss here. But as the Fenerbahçe fans and the Fenerbahçe businessmen will do whatever is necessary to make up for this loss. I'm sure of it. And of course, the next season, it's very hard to calculate all of this. Next season, if Turkish FA doesn't send us to the European competitions, then our European income will be at risk. We don't know how they will react. But the biggest issue is the SPK. Since we are a public company, they are inspecting that site Stock Exchange Commission. So we might give them a call. What do we mean by making a call to them? Like, it means the investors can buy our shares if they want to. Right now in the stock exchange, there is worth between 8 to 85 million in the stock exchange, and like people like you, the Fenerbahçe true Fenerbahçe fans, might see this as a heritage, but there might be some other people. There are other people who are only in it for the financial purposes. So if we make them a call, not all of them will respond to that call. Maybe not all of them, maybe 40% of them will support us, maybe 50% of them will. We cannot calculate that for sure. So this is the financial dimension of that. But we might even have a surplus in the income and outcome, because we have some loan players, we have some players that attract interest from other clubs. Our wage load will decrease, so we might even benefit. We might even. But if you're saying I'm taking too long, if you're thinking I'm taking too long right now, in all the negotiations, all the meetings we made, the least preferred option, and the ones who preferred it mostly seen it as a last resort, which was withdrawing from the league. And the biggest reason for that, not the legal side or the financial side, it's not about that. They claim that the same schemes, the same plots will continue just in a lower league. Not in the Super League, but in the second tier as well. And we understand this very well. So we put this option on the shelf until our General Assembly 3 months later. And if we're going to continue, there is no point in going to matches, playing the matches with youth team. Now I'm addressing Edin Dzeko, Dusan Tadic and Mert Hakan. We are on the same page. Do whatever is necessary to win that championship.
Gelelim bir sonraki opsiyonumuza.
Let's move on to our next option, the Super Cup.
2 kere taraftarımıza çağrıda bulundum.
I made a call to our fans twice
2 Nisan akşamına kadar
until the evening of April 2.
Urfa seyahat planı yapmayın.
Don't make any travel plans to Urfa and don't buy tickets. I told you.
Ve 2 Nisan gecesindeyiz.
And now we are in the evening of April 2. I'm making the same call again. Make no plans to travel to Urfa
Kupa biletlerini rezerve etmeyin.
and don't buy any Super Cup tickets.
Arkadaşlar lütfen ben kürsüdeyken rica ediyorum.
Dear friends, please don't chant while I'm on the podium.
Evet. Süper Kupa ile ilgili düşüncemiz de bugün sizin
And our thoughts about Super Cup is one of the issues that we will put on vote. We have two options here. One is not showing up at all, not playing the game at all.
ikinci opsiyonumuz
And our second option is playing the game with under 19 team.
büyüklerimizden aldığımız görüş, yani bu görüş
This is the view
güzel bir tepki olacaksa
we got from our elders. They advised us to start to show our reaction response
sonuna kadar
with Super Cup, and I wholeheartedly agree along with my friends with this decision because it's about principles.
puanı
It's a principle based
Sakarya
decision.
helal olsun
You're talking about country coefficients representing our country. You give us a pat on the back and then say your rival, your competition didn't accept it. Then you can reschedule the Karabük game, and then when we ask what happens if Karabük doesn't accept it, you say you'll handle it, don't worry. So you can handle Karabük, but you cannot handle Galatasaray, it appears so. If you had waited until March 15 to schedule, you should have waited until March 15 to schedule the Super Cup date, because it was our knockout day of Conference League. Whether we would progress in the competition or not was revealed that day. I think the Super Cup is almost cursed this year. They couldn't come up with a conclusion. So they rescheduled the fixture for other teams. And other federations do it as well. But our Turkish FA claim that they are patriots, they are patriotic, but they don't reschedule the Super Cup game because just to block the championship chance of Fenerbahçe and block the chances of Fenerbahçe in progressing in Europe. So we have to make a decision. We either don't play the game at all, or we play with under 19 team. Legally, if we don't play the game, we won't be able to compete in Turkish Cup and Super Cup next season. No problem. And there will be a disqualification penalty from 3 months to 1 year, I think, when they now they have the chance, they will definitely use it. We are not sure what it will cost us financially. We know that we will have no income, but what will it cost us? So we have to pay for all the costs, organizational costs, because of forfeiting from the organizations any financial loss Turkish FA might face. We have to compensate for it. And the Urfa Stadium, they prepared the stadium for the Super Cup occasion. They might even expect us to cover the foundation costs of that. We will put on the table the option to play this game with under 19 team. And at this point,
you can see how the voice of the society, the community, can affect. And what I can understand from the whistlings is, don't play on, but it is better than playing under 19. And this is our decision as well, but I don't really care about the finance side as well, but also we cannot give them this kind of material in the law and judicial side. And that's why we will be asking for your permission. It is up to you to give us in the calm down. We will vote in a minute. We have a democracy. You can give whichever vote to whichever option you can. The second. In the next season, for the Turkish Cup, not joining it, not participation. This is the third option. Not participating in the Turkish Cup next season. For the next season, for 2 seasons, we will participate in it. For 2 seasons, we will not participate in Turkish Cup. There is a person with a black t-shirt over there. Can you bring that gentleman here? I cannot hear. We are waiting for you. Oh, I thought about a black t-shirt guy, but I think a white t-shirt man is coming. What is the situation here right now? In 3 months to 1 year, we will be disqualified, but this is an acceptable one. And with the commercial gains will be refunded by the Super Cup, and it is a loss for all of us, and that it is not that important because of that. It is a loss for us. And in the next season there will be a new format. Format can be done without Fenerbahçe. And I can say this, it is a strange is we have a table that we can save more then we lost in the Turkish Cup. And until our friend join us, we will continue on the Super Cup with the reactions cannot understand. You become happy if we don't play, and you have said that inside. Maybe I got a feeling when I said that we will play with the under 19 team. The fans are shouting, "Don't play, President." The gentleman arrive here. Can you bring him? And now, with that, with our army of attorneys, with Turkish and in different countries, with UEFA, and for the current moment where Turkish football has, and the current situation of Turkish football and the effect of it, we will do some conclusions and we will be sending some submissions for to be understood what is the current situation of Turkish football. And I have just said, with the structural, we will inspect it and we will make a visibility for the European countries and which kind of button we need to press in the 3 months when we come together again. We will announce it to you. And I like to give a man a chance to talk because he was shut over there. Yeah, our friend is really from the same neighborhood, from Çengelköy, and we say from Üsküdar and Beykoz. He says that we should not play for the Super Cup. We should not play. What did you say? Mr. Mehmet, we understand your feeling and it has the same feeling as all of you. Thank you very much. You have joined us here. We love you very much. We are from Fenerbahçe, he says, and he is always with us. And this is what I am most scared sentence in Turkish football. And for Trabzon, until this situation is solved, we have option to not to go to their matches, to that city. And this option for us, it's the option that we can feel is the correct one, but not just 3 scores. We will lose 6, and that's why it will affect our competition. And we may enter with the U19 maybe, but we will take a look at it when. And we have asked for Turkish FA to resign. We are asking them to gather more signatories for the FA, Turkish FA, and for its institution as well. In association, we understood until they do election, we are not going to join any kind of election by the FA. And until the end of the season, we are asking for foreign referees. And before 59, we want to have a commission for our championships before 59 and get an answer as quick as possible. And in 2011, our Super Cup as soon as possible to be played together with Beşiktaş. We will move on together and we will take whatever our right is from the people that have taken our chances from us. And what if we can live, it will be great. We can achieve a multiplier three times more revenue if we leave this pool, media pool. We can go with a black uniform, or we can make some protests or walks, marches. We can do all of those, and with the approval of General Assembly, these are something that we need to ask the General Assembly. We will do this also in parallel as well, and that's why as we will have some speeches that will be done, and after those speeches we will continue on with the voting, and that's why your ideas, your perspectives are really important. If there is anything that we missed, we like to listen from you as well. And now we are in the last step, and we talked about our roadmap for our decision in the 2nd of April, and we have shown on a great video of what we have experienced and our action plans. With your approval, what we'll be realizing or not, and when everyone has talked about it, we will take some decisions. And in short summary, we have seen lots of different things that are against the natural cycle of life, and not just in our time, also before our time as well. I believe that it is the time to stop all of those. Anyone who has discriminated and fighting against injustice and who has lost their rights, and at last in the last situation in its road in championship as a team, it is a great turning point in away from home, while we were ahead 2-0, and we have been attacked by the fans, and for all of its history, for every step it has taken the steps with their love for their country. More than 107 years ago, since it has been founded in the following the steps of its ancestors, and also the lighthouse of our republic, with the hundreds of sportsmen and with lots of cups and medallions, and with its great flag, with its millions of fans, and also the light of our country, and also the holder of the heritage of our country as well. And with its biggest football sport club, and since its foundation in every branch of sports has given a service to its country, with ever have they done with their values in every part of Anatolia and also to the other side of the world, the reflections of our club has reached. And Fenerbahçe is Türkiye. Fenerbahçe is Türkiye's sport field, and when the institutions have stand against us, and for hundreds of years while we were judged, and with the FETÖ media we have been smeared with lies and fake news, we have been appointed as criminals, but just by itself as in the front fight against, and never create the problem with their principles or their values in whatever it will continue on to service its country. Anyone who has discriminated and segregated Fenerbahçe in the field, in the hall, in the polls, with the hundreds of sport persons, with help of we will be always in the order of this red and white and the crescent and the star. We may be seen as the naughty boy of the Turkish sports, but we are the victims, and this should be known. We are not the perpetrators, we are the victims. And what we can see, the history has been created, and you will not stop us. The Fenerbahçe will go until the beyond, and with its emotional or monetary, it has a value that has no limits and at last. And especially, I can say this as confident and as open as possible. Whatever inside, whatever we want to take inside of the situation or become the center of it, and in some subjects that we have been smeared when we had no relations to it, in any of in the situations where we don't have any ideas, even if they try to pull us to these ploys and plots, Fenerbahçe has no relationships with politics or any connections to it, and it will not happen, and will not happen in the future as well, and not happen in the past as well, and it will stay like this forever. But our government has to know this as well. To protect our right, we will never close our eyes. We will never stop. And our government, with our politicians, should know this as well. A state has a great debt against our team, to this society, to this community, both emotionally and monetary. And I have just said, we are just alone against all these external forces, and we have been standing against the wall. And Fenerbahçe has passed an exam. Lots of different ploys and plots have been played against us, and not just for us, but at the same time, we had only one institution that has stand up. It was Fenerbahçe. And today we are continuing on in the same exam, same challenge. We need to stand tall and proud. And for our country, and for our state, and for our politicians, whichever political party they are from, I have to say this to them again. In 2011, what kind of play? We talk about the countries in a bad situation. You did not take importance to that world. In 2024, in the April, we are just to remind you again and warn you about this. There is a structure is trying to force and drive our country to chaos by using the football, and they are trying to do this by using Fenerbahçe. But please don't disregard this again. Please take this seriously, and the decisions we will take today, and for our community, and for the well-being of football, I hope that it will be beneficial for every one of us. Thank you very much. And today here, and we have lost another important member as well. He was a big brother, a mentor, a father figure. You can say everything to him from my side, and we have learned a new loss as well. May Allah give him peace, and Mr. Turgay and Ulgar, may they rest in peace, and may Allah give patience to their relatives, and may give long life to anyone that's still alive. And to our President Ali Koç for this great and historical speech, we thank him very much. And esteemed members of the Congress, with our esteemed President in his speech have talked about the options. There is no situation of forfeiting from the league, and this is not an option. And now we will start our speeches. And the president is coming to you, closer to you. And we like to invite our spokesperson members to the microphone. And what I have wrote is, with the table that has been given, we want them to stay in the same level, in the limits of that table, and we want them to speak as little as possible, because the options are now what we are going to vote for, and that's why we should not keep the duration of the speeches that much. And I like to invite our first speakers, Yavuz Kayral, with your applauses, of course. Esteemed Yavuz Kayral. After Esteemed Kayral, Mr. Ahmet Bulut will make their speech, and after that, Mr. Acun Ilıcalı will make their speech. After that, Semih Elgüler will make their speech. Then Saadettin Saran and Esteemed Rahmi Eyüpoğlu. Please move towards the podium. First of all, Yavuz Kayral will make their speech. The stage is yours, Mr. Kayral. Yes, for the magnificent Turkish people and for the Turkish football, the Fenerbahçe, the icon, the whole magnificent eye of our Turkish football. And my speech, I am a person that improvise when I speech, and the people that know that. There is also anecdotes that I like to give to you, but I will talk since the time limit allows me to, and I will tell whatever I can. Esteemed fans of Fenerbahçe, let's start with E.T. Did you remember the space alien, E.T.? Let's start with E.T. This E.T. has a really high IQ, a really intelligent being, and really intellectual as well. And because of that, I like to give a short quote from its speech, what E.T. says. And if you research the E.T., there is a dark shadow behind it as well. And they say, just research the last 10 years and the high IQ this guy has talked about. In the last 10 years, they don't know that the Fenerbahçe has become a champion. But when we look at the last 10 years, and if we can look at 20 years, last 20 years, and so what the Beşiktaş and Fenerbahçe, the championships that you have taken from them, are you going to give them back or refund them? You cannot talk about them. You cannot research it about it as well. You're always talking about in their own platform. You give your message and just stay in the sidelines. You cannot speak about it. And now, there's lots of subjects to talk about, esteemed fans of Fenerbahçe. And let's join in a different subject. I am 70 years old. And I am not like the people that have been saying lies or saying my grandmother said that, grandfather said that, or uncle said that. These are not hearsay. I will be talking about only things that I can tell you is the only thing that I have experienced myself. I will not talk about hearsays. And what they say is 2011 and 2012. This is when this problem started. Let's return back to 1975. In 1975, in the first championship of Trabzonspor, start with Orhan Cebe, and in the last match, Halit Umana, that I will talk about. Anyone who has the courage to talk about all of this Orhan Cebe has taken the match from us. Cemil Turan, is he here? we were together, and the goal that has been done, but Mr. Cemil has been cancelled and has taken our championship. The Orhan Cebe is the reason that we have lost the championship. The Cebe, the greatest surname we can hear, right? And there is lots of different anecdotes that I can talk just like this. And in the last match, the Halil Umut has given to a different match that has destroyed and massacred Fenerbahçe. And you know all of this, right? And that's this federation, this MHG, and for these institutions, we have no chance to trust them. Zero chance to trust them. And of course, the road to hell has been set in stones of goodness or goodwill. And for the people that are looking from a different perspective, I show my respect to them as well. But this chronic structure, everyone has imposed in their own power to it, and that's why the cleaning and purification of this structure is not possible. I am telling you this. And this chronic structure, it is not the structure of last 10 years. It is the last 20 years structure. It is like a cancerous cell. It has affected and taking control of every part of it. But how did they lie to you for years? We have a press media and has a good respect to Fenerbahçe and always try to protect the rights of Fenerbahçe. And of course, there's a sport channel has giving lots of different services to institutions, and with the sport interpreters or speakers or reporters on this, they are always trying to plot against Fenerbahçe. But this is the order that they have gotten. Maybe that's the only way they can earn their living. But that's their problem. And now, esteemed friends, I will not speak if you are not listening to me. Our members need to talk in other way. We cannot take any decision, and that's why please wait in the silence, and please show your respect that is honorable for Fenerbahçe fans. And I am talking about lots of important things. Please try to listen me in silence. And there are some people that they don't know about these subjects. And please take a look at this. In Trabzon again, a district mayor will come to our talk for our other club has overreached their authority, we can say, and has said something. And you know, a novel from Aziz Nesin has talked about some politics. 50 years ago, we will take a look at those and laugh. In the 2024 Turkey, these have been lost in time, but we have seen it has also multiplied. And these people that have saying lies, and the people that they don't have any power to do whatever they say. This person are esteemed members. As what I can see, you don't want too many speakers, and you want to be vote as soon as possible. Your request is our demand. We will do this voting as soon as possible. Don't worry. And now, if you excuse me, I like to finish with some anecdotes, not to take much of your time. Should we not speak about this? Should we not talk about the plots and the ploys and underhanded tactics that has been done against Fenerbahçe? Then let me give this to you so that you can have an idea as well. And in here, the highest rank to lowest rank with the Turkish armed forces, we have lots of brothers in arms and commanders here. and especially special forces and also the police chiefs as well. They are not saying lies. They are the persons that have fought against bullets. They are great Fenerbahçe fans, and they will talk about for the future. And anyone try to talk against them should know their place. And I will say this as well. And some of you may know it or not. With Engin Alan, Commander and Pasha, we have come together. And the thing he said to me while coming here was, Mr. Yavuz, and if Fenerbahçe is play against Armenia as a Turkish team, wouldn't have this much kind of injustice and underhanded tactics and ploys done against it. And there's lots of things I want to say to you, and you should know all of this, but this is not the time or the place. And if it's not the place, and I don't know where that place is, but my last sentence will be this. Our esteemed president here, and if he is with you, our esteemed president, I know you don't need Fenerbahçe, but Fenerbahçe needs you. And you should never leave this club without a father. Be the protector of this club. Thank you very much, and I will give all of you my respect. We thank you, Mr. Oyuz Kayral, for his great speech. I esteemed members of the Congress. We thank you for listening to us with maturity and silence. I thank every one of you very much. In a small time, we will start our votes. Please try to protect your silence and maturity. Don't leave the stadium. And with this great participation as we have joined, we will show a decision that will be exemplary for everyone, and we will give these decisions to our vote. Please be calm and patient. Now, Mr. Ahmet Bulut.
Dear members and the great Fenerbahçe fans who follow this meeting from their screens, I greet you with love and respect. Today we are making history here. We will leave a great legacy on behalf of ourselves. They're trying to test us, but they don't know that we are Fenerbahçe fans. Those who hide behind Mehmet Büyükekşi. Now, I want you to see what's happening here. Be honest. Be a man. Today we're not here to speak. We are here to make historic decisions, and in accordance with our charter, we have to deliver some speeches. Please don't leave the stadium. We have to meet the necessary majority. I would like to address two things. We are here to make our duty, execute our duty. It was to come here, and we did it. Even we just had elections, and not even the election rallies had so much participation. They don't know nothing about the love, our love for Fenerbahçe. We taught them in 2011. You just seen the video. You can make 4 different movies from that video. No one can underestimate us. They have to explain themselves to us. They have to find the instigators and the perpetrators who gunned our bus. They have to compensate. We are Fenerbahçe. We have no debt to the state, but they owe it to us. We made our own stadium with no help. We made our own basketball arena with our sponsors. We are competing against the teams of state in the leagues, in every branch. We are at the top. We produce boxers, swimmers. You want to go against us? Be my guest. But we will do whatever is necessary. Now we have to address certain things. You know, where do they get their audacity from? Because we still don't act as a whole. We're not unified. Just 3-4 days ago, our coach Ismail said, I don't get the enough support inside as well. You don't give enough support to our president, Ali Koç. The president talked about articles, explained the articles, but my humble suggestion will be, let's give the board and the president the permission, and they will do whatever they need to do. We don't have to go into too much details. Let's leave it to the board and the president, who is ready to sacrifice everything for the sake of this club. There have been banners on the stands. Now we are going into a war. We are a sports club. We are the biggest sports club in the world. But they brought us into this war, and they will see a reaction. Now Mr. President Ali Koç should come to the podium once again and say, I will continue. There is no other way around. We have to give the response to those who try to ambush us. We have a Congress in the June, so there should be no ambiguity. There should be no indecisiveness. I thank each one of you for your participation and love and respect. Thank you very much. Dear Ahmet Bulut, thank you for your very meaningful speech. Dear members of the Congress, I'm aware of your impatience. I respect it. And because of that, I will present to you one last speaker. Our esteemed member, Mr. Acun Ilıcalı, will deliver his speech, and then we will go into voting. First of all, it's a historic day for all of us to gather this crowd on a Ramadan day, in a weekday, to be able to gather such a huge crowd made us proud, made me proud once again. I'm proud to be a Fenerbahçe fan, and I'm glad you're here. Thank you. Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you. Thank you very much. We don't have much time, so I will keep it short. I will focus on the solutions. As you know, in our country there is a very chaotic environment in football. That's not the case abroad. In other countries, people share the joy of football, but people in Turkey suffer from football. And I want to ask why. Why do we suffer from football? What caused the situation to come to this? And I came to a conclusion that I will only say one word: justice. Just like the judges ensure the justice in a country, and the sports world referees ensure the justice. We ask for foreign referees for months, and I think it has been verified by the people of Turkey in the last month. It's very evident, it's very apparent that there is no justice in Turkey, and the referees are not competent. They showed it to us themselves. the absolute state of the Turkish officials is very depressing right now. As you know, in the Trabzonspor game, the provocators jumped onto the pitch and attacked our players. But before all of that, as you know, if there were proper officiating in that game, in the 60th minute, the game would have been annulled, or the game would have been, abandoned. So they would have give us the right to not be present in that hostile environment. Everybody knew this was going to happen. I will give you a detail about that game. As soon as they threw flare onto the pitch, the referee turns to the flare. There are smoke coming from the flare, and then he comes up with a made-up foul, and then we concede. You cannot put the lives of footballers into such danger. How are you? You're supposed to be a referee. If you know anything about football, you should have protected a whole team from the risk of getting lynched. And there has been a recent document revealed. As you know, the referee trainer and the referees had a conversation. There's been some officiating mistakes in the Galatasaray Antalyaspor. This is natural, but the referee trainer Dallas's remarks are very important here. He asked the referee, "What was your reason to not make the call? What did you see? You saw the position, you saw what was happening, then you went to VAR. What did you see in the VAR?" And then gave a penalty. The referee answers, "I didn't see anything." Okay, you didn't see anything. Then he asks the VAR referee, "What did you see?" Then he replies, "I don't know what mood I was in. I don't know what I was thinking." So this is the state of Turkish refereeing right now. Now I'm asking you, what did he mean by I don't remember what my mood was? Like, was he depressed or he fought somebody? What did he think? What was he thinking? If Fenerbahçe is such a great big club, or the Galatasaray club, should their fates be dependent on the mood of the referee? That's what will dictate the fate of Turkish Super League. I'm asking you. Maybe he was thinking about holidays. He was making vacation plans. I don't know. He was not there. He was not present on the pitch. Now, I would like to underline that these two referees, if they said, "We back our decisions, this is a clear penalty," then I wouldn't ask any questions. But you watch the position from the monitors, and a week later you turned from your decision and said it was not a penalty, then I think it's very clear there's something wrong here. There are some malintentions. I'm sure our grand fans, our big fans, share this belief with me, share this view with me. From this moment, I don't trust Turkish referees. And I will never trust them. Because I just want you to imagine the things that we had to go through. Who was responsible for that? People lay on the ground, fell into the ground. Can you just, shouldn't you make them wait on the sidelines? They pretend to be injured, then they wake up instantly and score against us. This is all nonsensical. This makes absolutely no sense. So I'm advocating for the foreign referees. This should be the practice in our league. I want a fair platform. I want justice. And I do not accept to be treated unfairly anymore. A mood of a referee cannot upset millions of people. Today, we are 30,000 people here, but we represent 30 million fans. And with their nonsensical decisions, a referee should not have the right to upset 30 million people. I cannot accept this. If there is no justice, there will be chaos. I'm addressing everybody from this stage. There is no justice in football in Turkey. That's why we are protesting. That's why millions of people are protesting. That's why we came here today. Because the justice is completely destroyed. But with our power, we will bring justice to football in Turkey once again. I fully believe this. Today, I was proud once again to be a Fenerbahçe fan. We are the strongest fans in the world. We persevered, we fought against many difficulties in the past as well. And for our president, as I near the end of my speech, he is doing everything in his power, both mentally and financially, physically, always fought against injustice, never stays silent. He never gives up despite all the attacks. And he made today possible and allowed us to show our power. I would like to send my sincere gratitude to our president, Ali Koç. Today, once again, we showed how big, how strong Fenerbahçe is. And inshallah, together, we will see victories and fair and clean league structures. Thank you, Mr. Acun Ilıcalı, and thank you for your patience. Our president, Ali Koç, described the plots, the attacks we faced. Now we have the directive on my hands, directive by Samet Köse, Arda Kayıkçı, Gökçen Karakulak, Damla Alemdağ, Sinan Mezzeci, Ali Tanca, and Furkan Özdemir came up with this proposal. The extraordinary General Assembly of Fenerbahçe Sports Club today, as the 5th article of the agenda, in accordance with the 25th article of our charter, we propose it to be voted for our members of parliament. Who is in favor of this? Please raise your hands. Who would like to continue more? And adequacy has been accepted unanimously. Thank you all very much. Now I will put the decision proposal from our boards. This has been forwarded by Yıldırım Ali Koç, Mr. Yıldırım Ali Koç, Nebres Erol Bilecik, Murat Çağhan Kızılhan, Mehmet Dereli, Fethi Pekin, Sertaç Komsoğlu, Nihat Türker Beyazıt, Hüseyin Aslan, Esin Güral Argat, Ahmet Ketenci, Kemal Danabaş, Selma Altay Rodopman, Ömer Okan, Selahattin Baki, Bekir İrden, Muhittin İlker Dinçay, Can Gebetaş, and Özgür Özaktaş. Today I will read the proposal. Fenerbahçe Sports Club Extraordinary General Assembly Council President, Presidency, has the negotiations in accordance with the 5th article of the agenda. As per the 5th article of the agenda, all the actions will be implemented by the decision of board until the end of the existing board's term. We are proposing for the authorization, voting of the authorization. It shouldn't be postponed to another, if it's not postponed to another date, and if no foreigners are assigned to the game, we won't be participating in the Super Cup game, or we will participate in the game with our under 19 team to starting from the next season for 2 seasons, not participate in the Turkish Cup or participate in the Turkish Cup with our under 19 team. 3. Independently from our footballing activities decisions on Turkey, and just in case to establish ties with other countries abroad, come up with a roadmap. 4. Because of the unsustainable situation of Turkish football, make the necessary applications to UEFA and FIFA to investigate what's happening. Who accepts the proposal of our board? It's been accepted with majority of votes. May all these decisions be good for the big Fenerbahçe community. And with the approval of, after this approval, I would like to ask for your votes once again if the negotiations should continue. Who finds it suitable for the negotiations to continue? Please raise your hands. And who doesn't? I don't think there has been a big difference. We would like to negotiations to continue, and we would like to call it a day. And anonymously maybe, I cannot tell, to be honest. Can you raise your hands once again? Who says we should continue? And who opposes it? Mr. President, they want the negotiations to end. The floor is yours. Dear fans of Fenerbahçe,
Emniyet mensuplarına sesleniyorum. Lütfen hiçbir konvoy üyemize işlem veya müdahale etmeyin.
I am addressing the members of the police officers, please don't intervene with any of our members. Dear President will deliver his thank you speech. Dear President will give his vote of thanks, our esteemed members of the Congress. Mr. President, the floor is yours. Yeah, with your permission. Now I understand your situation as well. There's been some excitement going on in the crowd, but I think there'll be nobody jumping onto the pitch here. Please give me 3 minutes. Today, in the stadium, people will come from across the street, people will come from Europe, United States, Far East. So there have been people, there are people who come from all around the world, and on behalf of myself, my board and our community, I thank each one of you. We made history today here. But never forget that like I stated before, we're just getting started. This marsh environment, the Turkish football, which sinks down more every day. We have a lot of responsibilities to do to prevent this. First of all, we have to stand in solidarity and give full support to each one of our teams until the end of the season. Never give in to the complacency, and if we will have to address these issues once again next season, we will evaluate these on the next General Assembly. But until then, in Super Cup, in the UEFA and FIFA, we will start from tomorrow to take all the necessary measurements and initiatives. As Mr. Acun Ilıcalı said, we should be proud to be a member of this community. We made history together today. I hope we won't have to make history in the future because of such reasons again. I hope starting from tomorrow, Turkish football will get into the process of normalization, but in order to come clean, Turkish football has a lot to do. Football should only be related to stakeholders of football to resolve the problems in football. The people who love football should be in the positions, administrative positions. We shouldn't send to Europe our referees for 3 years until we clean our referees, because our referees with FIFA license face problems abroad as well, like in athletic tests, etc. And as Fenerbahçe community, we will write a manifesto and publish it to take the Turkish football to the place it deserves, with encouragement, will, and right teams. We will resolve these problems. We don't have to invent the wheel once again. A lot of football associations faced similar problems in the past, but elevated to such a level that they are exemplary associations in the world right now. So we can do it as well, and Fenerbahçe will be an enforcer to that. And as I end my speech, unfortunately, I can't say rest assured, but considering all the things we experienced, but rest assured that as long as we stand together, we will overcome every problem. I thank each one of you on behalf of myself, board, and our community. Thank you. I congratulate your aid in advance. Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. President. The Grand Fenerbahçe family and its prestigious members are esteemed members of our Congress. Today we held such a glorious and dignified General Assembly never seen before, and we are very grateful to you for being with us here today. I wish we could stay here today until the morning, so everybody will has a opportunity to speak. But I seen that the speech and the statements our president made were enough for you, so you demonstrated your full support to the board and president. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best. Long live Fenerbahçe, long live Republic of Turkey. Thank you.